welcome everyone. Well, we are disappointed we are not gathered together in McGaw Chapel to celebrate our Alumni Award honorees and to gather for Alumni Weekend. We hope that this virtual gathering will be only the beginning of a year-long journey to June 2022, where we certainly hope to gather. This morning, I plan to tell you a bit about our award recipients, and then we'll turn the program to President Bolton, who will provide an update on what has been happening on campus during these challenging and unprecedented times. It is now my honor to begin the presentation of awards. The Outstanding Young Alumni Award is presented to a graduate of the last 15 years who has provided stellar service to the College of Wooster as a volunteer. This year, we recognize two alumni, Alex and Caitlin Zhu, both from the class of 2010. Alex and Caitlin have been highly involved since graduating from Wooster. Currently residents of Washington, D.C., where Alex works for the local government in education policy, and Caitlin is a preschool teacher in an inclusion setting for children with hearing loss, their passion for Wooster has carried over into a variety of ways. They give to the Wooster Fund annually and are advocates and volunteers for the admissions office, serving as hosts and participants for National Interview Day, among other activities. Congratulations, Alex and Caitlin. Let's have a virtual clap for them both. The John D. McKee Outstanding Alumni Volunteer Award is named in honor of the college's first director of alumni relations. This award honors his belief that Wooster alumni are the very best. They generously share their time and their talent on Wooster's behalf. Many alumni volunteer for the college in a number of ways. Alumni admission advocates help recruit future alumni. Members of the Scott's Career Network work with Apex to catapult students from the classroom to a life beyond the Oak Grove. Class leaders keep us connected to the college and to each other. These are just a few of the ways alumni volunteer. John D. McKee graduated in 1917. He was the first secretary of Worcester's Alumni Association, editor of the Alumni magazine, and business manager of the college and the director of alumni relations. As you can see, the longer you work for the college, the more hats you get to wear. His energy, enthusiasm, and dedication to the college are recognized in this award. Those of us who work with Wooster volunteers know that they are champions and advocates of the college. To single out one person for this award is truly a difficult task. This year, we honor two individuals who have given so much to Wooster: Tom Boardman, class of 1970, and Susan Boardman, class of 1971. About 50 years since becoming college sweethearts, they've made an undeniable impact on Wooster as volunteers, attending college fairs, interviewing prospective students, writing notes to admitted students, hosting multiple reunions on campus, participating in Scots in Service, and serving on the alumni board. They established 2 endowed scholarships for students who reflect Tom's Wooster experience as he went on to obtain a Juris Doctorate from Washington University in St. Louis and a 36-year career as an attorney for 3M Company, in which he became a vice president and leader of its Office of General Counsel. Congratulations, Tom and Susan. Let's have a virtual clap for them both. Now we honor 4 incredibly impressive alumni who we have selected as the recipients of the Distinguished Alumni Award. Brenda Major, class of 1972, is an internationally known expert with more than 40 years of work on the effects of stigma and discrimination on identity and their implications for health and well-being, serves as a distinguished professor in the Department of Psychological and Brain Sciences at the University of California, Santa Barbara. The self-described experimental social psychologist has been a UC Santa Barbara faculty member since 1995 and published more than 200 articles and book chapters and edited 2 books, The Psychology of Legitimacy and the Oxford Handbook of Stigma, Discrimination, and Health. She has received many awards and grants, including a Distinguished Lifetime Achievement Award from the International Association of Self and Identity and a Scientific Impact Award from the Society for Experimental Social Psychology. Larry Jones, class of 1975, is in line to be elected for a 3rd term as a judge of the 8th District Court of Appeals for the state of Ohio. He first assumed the office in 2008 after serving 21 years on the Cleveland Municipal Court, which included being designated by his colleagues to serve as the presiding and administrative judge for 14 years. In 1997, Jones went on to establish the Greater Cleveland Drug Court, a collaborative program of city and county agencies designed to hold drug offenders accountable and provide treatment resources to break the cycle of drug abuse and drug-related crime and reduce recidivism, and he was president for 11 years. The Reverend Dr. Catherine Rhodes Henderson, class of 1978, is president of Auburn Seminary, a nationally recognized leadership development and research institute equipping bold and resilient leaders of faith and moral courage to build communities, bridge divides, pursue justice, and heal the world. Auburn was founded almost 200 years ago by Presbyterians and has become an important node in the work of building multi-faith movements for justice. Author of God's Troublemakers, How Women of Faith Are Changing the World, Henderson is an internationally known speaker and has been featured in the Washington Post, the New York Times, USA Today, MSNBC, NPR, and more. Her TEDx talk, Letting God Out of the Box, was released in February 2017. She earned her BA at the College of Wooster, Phi Beta Kappa, her Master's of Divinity degree at Union Theological Seminary, and her doctorate at Teachers College, Columbia University. She was ordained in the Presbyterian Church. Walt Hawkins, class of 1966, inspires people to take their dreams seriously. As a consultant, trainer, and author, he empowers people with lifetime skills to continue answering 3 questions. Who am I? What do I want? How do I get it? He challenges teams to ask 3 more questions. Who are we? What do we want? How do we get it? With a focus on interpersonal skills, influencing, diversity, and life designing, Walt has worked with thousands of people from more than 60 countries. He has worked with organizations ranging from Apple to the European Space Agency to the UN World Food Program. As a member of the NTL Institute for Applied Behavioral Science, Walt facilitated dozens of sessions on diversity and interpersonal skills. As an emeritus member, he mentors the next generation of facilitators. As president of the class of 66 for 45 years, Walt developed teams of classmates who worked together to give significant gifts to Wooster at both the 25th and 50th reunions. Congratulations, Brenda, Larry, Catherine, and Walt. Let's have a virtual clap for each of these amazing individuals. Next June, you will hear much more about these phenomenal individuals, but for now, check out this video about their Wooster experience and why they stay connected to the college.
When married couple and alumni Alexander and Caitlin Jew think of Wooster, the word community instantly comes to mind. Wooster provided them many opportunities to develop lasting and impactful relationships while partaking in fun traditions such as IS Monday, filling the arch, and listening to the bagpipers. Their friendship began in their early college years and blossomed into a romantic relationship while working as senior admissions interns. Since moving to Washington, D.C., the couple is delighted that they have been able to stay connected with fellow alumni and further resonate with the Wooster community. They feel there's something truly special about the Wooster bond that transcends class, years, and generations. Caitlin recalls how the small class sizes provided an environment in which she could develop not only her academic skills, but also a sort of friendship with her professors. Alexander and Caitlin attribute Wooster's inspirational, transformative, and approachable spirit as some of the key reasons that they continue to volunteer for Wooster, along with their hope to connect with and inspire prospective students to attend the school they hold so dear to their hearts. Both Caitlin and Alexander are grateful that Wooster prepared them for life beyond graduation. While Caitlin's grad school peers and Alexander's colleagues were intimidated by large writing and research assignments, both Caitlin and Alexander felt ready for the challenges ahead, knowing they acquired the tools and knowledge through the independent study process. The Jews are humbled and touched to receive the Outstanding Young Alumni Award, especially since they don't view their volunteer experiences as work, but rather something they genuinely want to do. One of their most memorable volunteer experiences was planning and hosting a Scots and Service Day. While working with Asian American Lead, the Jews brought alumni across generations together for a common cause in their hometown. Seeing those worlds collide was something the Jews found truly meaningful.
Another married pair to come out of the Wooster community, Tom and Susan, or Susie, Boardman, met at a freshman mixer on Susie's first night on campus. Athletics played an integral role in both of their Wooster careers, with Tom playing football and baseball, while Susie was a cheerleader for the Scots. Susie volunteered at athletic clinics, gave tours to prospective students, and lists the Pipers leading the football team down the hill as one of her favorite memories. Tom credits his coaches, in particular Jack Lengel and Roger Welch, saying they, along with other faculty and staff, had a major influence on his life. His IS advisor, Mr. Kent Weeks, an educated lawyer, guided Tom in his journey to law school. Susie's professors grew her appreciation and love for art, which led to her directing the visual art ministry at her church for 25 years. In gratitude for the richness of their Wooster education, they feel motivated to encourage other students and families to consider Wooster. The Boardmans have co-hosted open houses at Tom's law firm, attended college fairs, and written numerous letters to interested students. The Boardmans have an impressive Wooster family legacy, with the 9th member starting at Wooster this fall. Tom was given the opportunity to attend Wooster due to the generosity of previous alumni, encouraging the Boardmans to pay it forward with 2 of their own scholarships for students in need. Seeing young men and women develop into community leaders is one reason why volunteering at Wooster has been so important to them. One of their favorite alumni experiences was the Wooster in Tuscany trip, hosted by Wooster history professor Madonna Hedinger and husband George Vermander, along with other alumni couples. The Boardmans cherish the many friendships they have made at Wooster, saying those relationships are precious gifts that have enriched their lives. The first of 4 Distinguished Alumni Award recipients, Brenda Major, had a wonderful time at Wooster, both socially and intellectually, and notes the several changes during that time period that helped her grow. When Major attended Wooster at the time of the Vietnam War, there were women's hours, they had to go to chapel, needed permission from their parents to leave for the weekend, and responded to a hall buzzer when someone wanted to reach them, since there were no phones at the time. Some amazing memories for Major include Kiefer House potluck suppers, late night studying, and regattas with the sailing club. During her time at Wooster, Major discovered she loves learning and independent research and continues to study topics today that she pursued as a student. She feels the best parts of Wooster were her junior and senior IS projects, which were a fabulous training experience for what she does now as a social psychologist. In fact, it was her IS advisors who inspired her to pursue psychology and become a professor. Major has had an esteemed 40-plus year career as an internationally known expert in the psychology of stigma and discrimination and their implications for health and well-being. In addition to publishing more than 200 articles and book chapters and 2 books, she has received numerous awards. The recognitions for which she is most proud are the Distinguished Scientist Award from the Society of Experimental Social Psychology and being selected for the American Academy of Arts and Sciences with fellow classmates Merritt Garland and Michelle Obama. Major is incredibly moved to receive this award from Wooster, as she truly cherished her time here and credits her professional success to the training and mentorship she received during her 4 years. Now helping her own students succeed and thrive, Major feels proud.
Wooster prepared Judge Larry Jones to succeed in life and gave him confidence that led to a masterful law career. Upon graduating from law school, Jones served as an assistant Cuyahoga County prosecutor, then was elected to the Cleveland City Council, where he served on various committees, chaired the legislation committee, and served on a host of community organizations. Following a 6-year stint as councilman, Jones was elected to the Cleveland Municipal Court, where he served as presiding and administrative judge for 14 years, making him the longest-serving presiding judge. Judge Jones helped establish the first drug court in Cuyahoga County, multiple town hall programs, and the first amnesty program for the Cleveland Municipal Court. As a student, he served on the Student Government Association and co-chaired the Black Student Association. When remembering his favorite parts of Wooster, Jones recalled performing his best work in the springtime, when the seasons changed. Judge Solomon Oliver, one of Jones's professors, introduced him to the law and has been a mentor and friend over the years. With several high school classmates who also attended Wooster and pursued law, Jones is pleased that the connection has allowed him to remain friends and stay in contact. In his spare time, Jones enjoys an occasional round of golf, ballroom dancing, and woodworking. Describing his proudest career moment, Judge Jones stated that being elected to public office is a tremendous honor and responsibility. As a recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award, Jones stated that he will always cherish this honor and is proud to be an inner-city kid who has excelled and made a difference. Wooster was a beautiful experience for Jones that provided building blocks for his life development, and he feels his time there was truly something special. For Reverend Dr. Catherine Henderson, Wooster provided opportunities that nurtured and focused a childhood question. How are people shaped and formed to do good in the face of evil? As a German major during her sophomore year, Henderson went on a study travel seminar to Germany with Dr. Nancy Lukens, where she had previously lived when she was 9 years old. During this seminar, Henderson practiced the language and studied the history of the Holocaust, especially those who were part of the resistance movement to Hitler and Nazism, particularly what shaped and formed them to stand up and resist. Visits to different religious communities whose members were committed to working for justice would ultimately change her life. At a time when Henderson would have considered herself an atheist, the immersive experiences in Germany allowed her to reconnect with her own personal faith and eventually led her to seminary. Henderson's experiences at Wooster, such as junior and senior IS, and interdisciplinary courses provided a place for creativity and integration and served as an incubator for much of her work today. Now a Presbyterian minister, president of Auburn Seminary in New York City, book author, internationally known speaker, and more, Henderson is grateful for this award and recognition of all that she's accomplished so far. Henderson has taken a 200-plus-year-old Christian institution and shaped it for relevance in this new world, working to create a multiracial, multi-faith democracy where everyone can thrive and belong. She was named recipient of the Guru Nanak Interfaith Prize for her lifelong passion to create spaces for authentic interfaith engagement. She joined esteemed past winners, including His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet. Henderson has also spearheaded innovative relationship-based programs for learning, support, and public witness on some of society's most pressing issues of justice. Reflecting back, she believes you can see the continuity between childhood influences, college influences, and the trajectory of her personal and professional life. The journey always leads to commitment to something greater than oneself, a value that was reinforced for her at Wooster.
Walt Hopkins remembers his time at Wooster as a gathering of faculty and students who thrived on inspiring each other and being inspired. As a consultant and trainer who inspires people to dream seriously, Hopkins has done significant work across the world. From training the staff of the United Nations World Food Program in Thailand and in Sudan to coaching the top executives of the European Space Agency, Hopkins helps people develop the skills and the values of influencing, diversity, and life designing, skills and values that he himself developed with his mentors at Wooster. A colleague describes Hopkins as world-class in what he does, designing and delivering unique approaches that focus on the values and behavioral changes that are fundamental to real growth. In 1983, Hopkins founded Castle Consultants International, based first in London and now in Scotland, where he has lived for 25 years. Hopkins loves to see his students, his course participants, and his co-facilitators going beyond what they originally thought possible. His mission is to inspire people to do more of what they do best. When Hopkins is doing what he does best, people around him begin changing their lives. With a long legacy of family members who worked for or attended the College of Wooster, Hopkins is proud of his lifelong connection to the college. As president of the class of 1966 for 45 years, Hopkins encouraged his classmates to connect and celebrate at 9 reunions. He inspired the class to give a record-setting gift at their 25th reunion and then, for their 50th reunion, to give more than $13 million. While at Wooster, Hopkins sang with the Men's Glee Club and acted in 12 plays, which helped him develop the confidence to work with groups and to publish books. He is now revising his work on life designing skills, entitled with his own inspiring words, "A Goal is a Dream Taken Seriously."
At this time, I will turn the program to Wayne Webster, Vice President for Advancement, to provide an update on alumni engagement and advancement.
Over the course of the last 3 years, over 16,000 alumni have participated in programs, events, virtual engagement, and volunteer opportunities. That number represents 68% of our alumni network. Alumni have served as hosts for Wooster events, lent their professional expertise to our students and fellow alumni through the Fighting Scott Career Connections platform, provided internships and employment opportunities for our students, helped to identify, recruit, and select the next class of Scots as admissions advocates, served as online ambassadors to support Wooster's communication efforts, lent their voice to one of our affinity groups, reunion committees, or the alumni board, and of course, virtually engaged with our offices and the college in a variety of ways. This is all in addition to the record-setting support alumni have provided to the Wooster Fund, our Giving Woo Days campaign, and the Lowry Center campaign, which you will hear more about from President Bolton shortly. We are grateful to each and every one of you who supports the college through your volunteer and philanthropic efforts. The college has a long history of alumni engagement. Since 1873, classes have been gathering together to organize and meet as an alumni association. Today, we continue that tradition of gathering. I am thrilled to serve you and all of our 26,000 alumni as the Vice President for Advancement. Thank you for all your continued support of the college. And at this time, I would like to welcome 2 outstanding leaders for the 50th reunion, Lucinda Cindy Weiss of St. Augustine, Florida, and Michelle Johnson of Columbus, Ohio, both from the class of 1971.
Thank you, Wayne, for the kind introduction. To complete our introductions, I'm Lucinda Weiss, better known on campus back in the day as Cin, and most often since then as Cindy. The last name never changed. I'm the class of 1971's coordinator because, as children of the 60s, we were somewhat suspicious of presidents.
Hello, fellow Scots. I'm Michelle Johnson, aka Michelle Burden, and sometimes Mickey Burden during my days on campus. I am the current class secretary communicator. I want to give a big thank you to the other 50th Reunion Committee members, Jim Lowry, Don DeWald, John and Judith Branson, Pat Reed, Faith Burton, Greg Barbu, Diane and Ron Hamburger, Jim Myworm, and Kathy Palumbo. And thank you to other unnamed but hardworking classmates who helped in our planning. Special thanks also to the college staff, in particular Sharon Rice, Amy Immel, and May Evans. They have advised, helped plan, and then replan our 50th.
With one exception, we are the class that graduated 50 years ago this month. I'm the exception. I received my BA the previous October, but I've proudly claimed and served the class of 1971 ever since. We are grateful to the college's leadership, faculty, staff, and students over the decades since our graduation for sustaining our alma mater as an extraordinary institution of higher learning in the liberal arts tradition, and most especially as a cultivator of lifelong curious learners, all to benefit ourselves, our families, communities, causes, and our world. President Bolton, we thank you for assuming the leadership mantle of the president of the college and for carrying it so well.
A little reminiscing. Cindy and I discovered that we are both second-generation Wooster grads, so our connection dates back more than 70 years. My very first home was on campus in Army barracks converted to married student housing. Cindy and I agree that Wooster's liberal arts education taught us how to learn. In retirement, we enjoy rediscovering fields we have not had time to pursue since graduation. We are glad to know that the college is still committed to challenging not only the high school valedictorians, but also the average students to realize their potentials. The importance of each person in our diverse society and the compassion and caring for those less fortunate are lessons Wooster grads take with them. I would bet that we could name most of our classmates as ambassadors for volunteer, civic, humanitarian, and philanthropic efforts. When we arrived on campus in 1967, we had women's hours and dress codes. By the time we left, there were 23-hour open houses and no dress codes. When we arrived, the student center was the tub and Lowry was a mud pit. The swimming pool and the gym were tiny. The theater green room had signs not to flush the toilet during a performance because it could be heard on stage. And the national scene was turbulent with extreme racial tensions even conflict and protests over the Vietnam War. My, how the times and this college and its campus have changed and adapted.
The role of class coordinator fell to me because I volunteered to lead the reunion giving effort, since there are only 2 rules I follow in fundraising. Nobody is ever insulted by being thought richer and more generous than they really are. And the worst thing anyone can say when I ask for money is no. Why did I volunteer for this role? The College of Wooster and its then leader of development, Ed Arnn, taught me that alumni need to give, both early and often. I received my first annual fund solicitation early in 1971, before the rest of my class even graduated. Having been on scholarship at my prep school and here at Wooster, I already understood the importance of alumni gifts in supporting the students who follow us. So I sent my check for $10, the first of many, and I promised to repay every dime those scholarships gave me. Later on, to pay it forward, I plagiarized Wooster's Alumni Relations and Fundraising Playbook to bolster giving at my prep school, and later at the University of Idaho College of Law, which was forced to turn to alumni for the first time after legislative budget cuts nearly crippled the school. Both schools know of Wooster's role in their fundraising stories.
As class secretary, I have felt honored to share happy news and sometimes sad news to and from classmates. This past year, I have been especially excited to share information about our class gift going to the renovation of the current Lowry Center, and to announce that an anonymous classmate or 2
Or three
issued a $300,000 challenge to match our class's gifts to the Lowry Center project. But my most exciting announcement, shared just recently, is that we will have an on-campus, in-person reunion next year, June of 2022.
Yay! And now it's time to cut to the chase. Our class's original target for reunion giving was $150,000, and our stretch goal was $500,000. But thanks to the generosity of so many, we blew right through that and raised a total of $835,175 as of the date we're taping this. Of course, as you would expect me to say, the giving window is still open till June 30, so please feel free to give or give more. There are still a bunch of matching funds available, so let's claim them all. And now it's my privilege and delight to announce on behalf of the class of 1971, a class that both suffered and enjoyed many firsts at the college during our 4 years, that we have chosen to earmark this money to fund the new all-faith sacred space in the renovated Student Center as our class gift, and the first class-named space there.
On behalf of our reunion committee, Cindy and I thank all who have made this gift possible.
We are Scots proud.
Thank you, Wayne, Christine, and welcome, everyone. Thank you all for being with us today, and thank you for your engagement with Wooster throughout many years, and especially in this challenging year. It's my pleasure to give special thanks to the 50th Reunion Committee and to everyone in the class of 1971 who has made a gift to our college. The class of 1971 has generously given an amazing $8,029,455 over the course of their lifetimes to Wooster. Thank you so much. To the class of 1971 and to all of you, your support is awe-inspiring, and its impact will benefit our students this year as well as for decades to come. I'm particularly grateful that so many of you have made the Wooster Fund a focus of your philanthropy. The Wooster Fund is critical every year, providing $3.3 million of support for students, staff, and faculty. Your gifts relieve our operating budget and provide vital support to our campus community in areas such as financial aid, experiential learning, mentored undergraduate research, faculty and staff excellence, and campus life. This year, of course, you also gave gifts to the COVID area of impact, which were critical in helping students continue their educations through all of the challenges and disruptions of the pandemic. Thank you so much for your care for our students and for their success. And a special thanks to all of our alumni who are celebrating reunions this year for your generous support of the Wooster Fund over the course of your time as alumni. Your collective Wooster Fund giving comes to over $600,000. Thank you so much for your support. It's been an extraordinary year here on campus in every sense, with so much challenge, disruption, and loss. Throughout this time, though, the College of Wooster community has risen to the occasion over and over again, supporting one another and ensuring that our mission continues. I have never been prouder of this family of Scots. I want to provide just a brief update of where we are at the moment on campus and how we're planning for the future. Let's start at the end of this year. On May 8th, 2021, 453 wonderful seniors celebrated their commencement at Pap Stadium. That culminating moment was made possible by the extraordinary dedication and care of every member of the Wooster community, students, staff, faculty, and our alumni over the past 14 months. Our faculty spent last summer learning to teach remotely and in hybrid modes to provide maximal learning, flexibility, and equity for students, whether they were learning here on our campus in Wooster or at home across the country or around the world. Our students worked incredibly hard to keep one another safe and to stay connected. They ran their student organizations and activities so that everyone could participate, whether they were here or thousands of miles away. And our staff made amazing things happen, from pivoting dining services to supporting vaccination clinics for students and employees to running an extensive public health operation that they built here on campus from scratch. It included daily symptom monitoring, over 25,000 COVID surveillance tests, wastewater testing, quarantine and isolation protocols. And of course, amidst all of that hard public health work, our staff and faculty also found ways to make Worcester's most cherished traditions happen. We had concerts of the chorus and band and symphony and jazz ensemble. We had theater and dance performances, and there were athletic competitions for every team, all squeezed in to our spring semester. And of course, we celebrated IS Monday, Senior Research Symposium, commencement, and now your reunions in new ways. As we made our way through that, everyone did work in ways that they had never done before in an incredible all-of-campus effort. It was the best of Worcester's spirit, strong amidst tremendous adversity. The global Wooster community rallied to support our seniors in brand new ways. More than 6,700 visitors tuned in from 96 countries to watch our seniors' virtual research presentations and, of course, because it's Wooster, to ask them great questions about their research outcomes. And our seniors, as they launch their postgraduate lives, are being supported by alumni who have stepped up to provide mentoring and networking and so many opportunities. Our seniors know this year more than ever that this alumni body will always be with them, helping them to succeed and make a difference throughout their lives. We can't thank you enough for standing with these students in the way that you have. This year, through the pandemic, we were also able to advance our Connect, Create, Discover strategic plan, which focuses on building those connections which are critical to students as they prepare for lives as leaders of character and influence in a global society. Readiness to address the greatest challenges of our time requires connections among people, learning from and working with people from diverse experiences and perspectives, connecting across areas of studies to find innovative new ways to solve problems, and connections, of course, between learning in the classroom and action in the world. Our strategic plan has 4 areas of focus. The first is building and making the most of our internationality and diversity, ensuring that our campus experiences are excellent, welcoming, and inclusive for everyone. We're delighted this year to continue to be the most international college in Ohio and among the top 20 in the country. And we're also so pleased to see the diversity of our students as well as our faculty at record highs. The second area of focus is academic innovation. And this year we were so excited that even through the pandemic we were able to launch an exciting new program called Pathways, which provides students with the opportunity to explore an area of potential professional interest through an interdisciplinary group of courses and an extended internship or community engagement opportunity. Our new pathways include everything from entrepreneurship to public health to museum and archival studies and much more. Our third area of focus is connected learning, ensuring that excellent classroom experiences connect to work on campus, to engagement with our city, and to connection around the world. We want to be sure that our students are ready to make a strong launch after college to whatever it is that they most aspire to do. And I want to thank you, our alumni, for all you've done to help make this goal possible. Many of you have provided internships, employment opportunities, and help during this year. A special thanks to the over 1,500 alumni who have joined the Fighting Scots Career Connections platform and have helped one another as well as our students in their career development. The final area of focus for our strategic plan is building a vibrant, inclusive, welcoming, and strongly knit campus community. And one of the most exciting areas of progress in this priority is the renovation of our Lowry Center, which is so important to our campus and our students. Our goals for this project are to create a welcoming, bright, accessible space that tells Wooster's story and that reflects our values, a place where students can gather, meet, lead, and connect. The project will also bring together many resources for students which are currently spread out around the campus. And as we bring those campus resources together in one place, the place that every student goes every day, they'll be easily accessed so that every student gets excellent support, and those services can work in synergy to help students thrive, engage, and succeed. So as you can see, the renovation is going to keep nearly the same building footprint as you see in this overhead view. Rather than expanding the space, our renovation focuses on making the most of every part of it. Here you see the new entrance, welcoming students, visitors, and members of the campus community. The sign that you see here in the tartan quotes our founding president, Willis Lord, making it clear that in order to be excellent, Wooster is committed to being not just a place of all studies, but a place of studies for all people. Here you see the upper floor layout, where a shared open space is surrounded by key offices, like our Center for Diversity and Inclusion, our Student Activities and Residential Life offices, and the Office of the Dean of Students. And of course, you also see in this space the flags of all 65 nations represented in our student body hanging proudly. Thanks to the generosity of many alumni, we have broken ground on this renovation just a few weeks ago, and we're so looking forward to seeing this new space opening in about 18 months. Thanks to all of you who have contributed to making this possible. As we look back over this past year and forward into the future, one thing is clear. In the deepest sense, Wooster's most important strength is this community, our community of Scots. Your commitment, your engagement and care, your dedication to our students and to helping them build their futures, that is what has carried this college forward over time. It touches the life of every student every day, both now and for many, many years to come. So one more time, thank you so much. We hope to see you again on our campus very soon. But until then, please do take care, be well, and go Scots.
Thank you for the update, President Bolton. I hope you enjoy the many activities we have throughout the rest of today. Last year, we held a contest to create a new Wooster cocktail. We hope to serve the Smoky Babcock by Patrick Scott's 98's alter ego, Tara Hoot, this weekend, but we will have to wait until next year at our in-person alumni weekend in 2022. In the meantime, here is Tara's recipe that should you want to make the drink for yourself this weekend and enjoy it at other reunion events. Before I relinquish the gavel, I'd like to express my thanks and gratitude to all of you for affording me the opportunity to serve you and the college as president of the Alumni Association. While the last year has not been what we desired, I have enjoyed the opportunity to engage with you in different ways, mostly virtual, and deeply appreciate your level of engagement with the college. I hope each of you will continue to use the virtual tools that the college has provided us to renew your connection with each other, as well as become reacquainted with the college. Each of us plays an important role in the continued success of Wooster. Remember, big accomplishments begin with small acts. Whether you live here in Wooster or anywhere in the world, there are a variety of opportunities to serve the college and deepen your connection and become a loyal Scot. And now, to close out our program, I pass the gavel to Sandeep Bhatia, class of 1989, who begins his term as president of the Alumni Association and Alumni Board. We are so excited for your leadership, Sandeep.
Thank you, Christine, for your leadership during these challenging and historic times. I am very much looking forward to building upon the foundation of success and engagement that continues at Wooster and thinking of new ways to deepen our connection to fellow alumni in the college. 2020 has taught us there are many ways we can engage with Wooster, even if we are not here in person. I look forward to hopefully seeing you soon, either on Zoom or in person. Go Scots!